question or what?
Nah.
Hello, I'm Nikki. This is Pin Cut Sew, and you might notice our environment is different today because this is my mom. This is my mom, Lori. We moved here in the summer of 2022, and you moved here in the summer of 2023. So for the first time in my adult life, we live in the same city. We had short bits when you lived overseas in Mongolia. Whole nother video. But this is, I think, the first like permanent residence for both of us that we live together. So she's not only my mom, she's also my sewing buddy. Yep. My number one sewing pal. So I thought it'd be fun today to come and tour her sewing room and ask her some fun sewing questions.
Your mom made this when I was up in the loft.
Oh, I remember that.
Aww. Julia did when she was little, the grandparents' poem. Oh, by Elijah. Julia. My grandparents are the best. They play games like chicken foot and do puzzles. They are the best grandparents ever. Who knows when they will come? Who knows when they will leave?
So, Mom gets this whole room to herself.
I do. It's the front of the house. All this beautiful light.
Did you get first choice?
Yes.
Because my dad also has a hobby room, but Mom got first choice.
I did because of the light. Yes, his hobby is noisy, so.
Yeah, he's a drummer. So let's, people like to see how other people set their sewing rooms. The first thing I'm noticing is all this pretty storage here.
Well, I don't have room for a dresser in this one. I have the family antique dresser in other homes, but it didn't make the move. So yeah, these work really well. And they're from Amazon. And all the elastic. You know, serger threads.
So do you file or stack your fabrics?
Oh boy. Well, okay, for instance, this is solid large. So,
oh, it's filed.
I guess you'd call it, you know, when it gets small, because there's one that's small, it gets a little messier because I pull out from them. But these are pretty handy. They work well. They don't bite me.
Those are nice. Where did you get those from?
Amazon. I've ended up with 3 different orders. They come in sets of 4 and they're completely flat. And I like the colors and
yeah, that's really cool.
Well, and this is a laundry basket with my pattern tracing.
Oh, interfacing on the bolt?
Well, I just asked for empty bolts
okay.
and wrapped them around it. So my stiff stuff. And it was too small for my laundry. But,
it was really small for laundry. Okay, yeah, so here's your ironing station.
It's my ironing station. Have some extra lights. And it just all turns on with the extension cord.
That's nice.
And then my tools.
Iron is a beast.
Oh, I love that iron.
Okay, tell us about this. I don't have one of these.
Okay, well, first the iron, the Rowentas. But if you get Rowentas, make sure they're made in Germany. All the difference in longevity and lack of leaking. And this is a little Teflon cover, and the extra ones I get in like 4-packs at Walmart because it didn't come with this one, just this one. I've used these for years. And
so this is to prevent sticking, like for interfacing and stuff?
Interfacing or on knits that you don't want to shine. And when I do interfacings, I get oven liners that I cut in half. And they're on Amazon and they're super cheap. Or I guess you can buy them at Walmart too.
Okay,
yeah.
very
much
interesting.
Cheaper. Yeah, it's the same thing they sell in rolls at quilt stores.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
My Mentos.
Oh yeah, they're my. And it's just all come together in the last couple of months, really.
Yeah, I think that's why I waited a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
1963.
They set first graders out with saws. It's a distinct memory. These little.
You remember making it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So cute.
It's in Santa Barbara. Yeah. And I use my gurgle thing when. Another granddaughter gave me that. I fill my iron with the gurgle fish. Okay, I have a moral story that goes with that little China doll. They were like family. My mom's friends, Ned, mom and dad's friends. They lived in Morro Bay, California, and he owned a grocery store, a little market, and that was in their store, and just ended up in the car. And I'm unboxing it, and Mom was that? Yes. She said, I think I asked him for it. I might have asked him. I think I was
and he said no,
about 4. And they said, no, not today. Well, I thought, well, I took it back. Oh boy, Dad did a big U-turn and back we went, and I tearfully had to return it to him, and of course they sent it home when we left their place in California.
I remember stealing those. You remember the sewing store used to have those fuzzy teddy bears by the register, and you made me go back and return it. So cute. Okay. What do we have in here?
Wrapping paper. There's my sleeve board. Some gift bag, tall things, you know.
And you got this cabinet in Mongolia.
This is Mongolian made. It is in the rough. It has charm. It has charm. It's not, you know, like the drawers they're rough, and everything's pretty rough inside. Randy made me the extra shelf, and that's my patterns. I'm not as cavalier with tossing all the patterns nowadays because they're so expensive. So.
Yes, I agree.
So I just kind of hold on to them. So that's how I store those.
Cool. Your dress form. Does your dress form have a name?
I decided to name her Grace after my mother because Mom taught me to, taught me to sew. She was the first seamstress in my life. And Grace, we all need Grace.
We were just talking about all the grandparents' names. Me and Layla yesterday. Grace is probably the most normal. Like, it's still normal name today.
Oh, so I see what you're saying. As opposed to
Thurman.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the Husky desk. She was influenced.
So,
by yours truly.
There's my thread, and let me explain the threads. Because when we did live overseas, you could not get thread in Mongolia, so I would take thread. So when we finally came home, I had duplicates of everything and threads. So kind of working through the threads.
I see. But this is the Gutermann Mara.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
I'll link you to this.
Yeah.
Do you get it from Wallach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, I even have the fold-out color thing that has real thread in it, so you can tell what you're getting. And our local is a good source too.
And what your machine do you use?
This is my machine. I got this in 2015. So
she's a beauty.
Yeah. She's got the bells and whistles, and enjoy her.
And you made a cute cover for it. And your serger desk.
Yeah.
Whenever one of my kids moves out and I get enough space, I'm gonna get another one of these.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Nikki made this for me. That was my machine. It was a brother. It went forward and backwards. And I got it when I was 14 because Mom did not want me on her Nikki. And
that's funny.
That's what I learned to sew on, and that's what my daughters learned to sew on.
Yeah, I sewed on that for years.
Nikki's kids would jump on that and sew on that. Zipper bags and stuff. So
yeah, I think I have a video with that machine in it.
Yeah.
I'll have to find it.
Yeah. Now it's just it could be a wonderful doorstop, but it just wore out.
Things could not be repaired anymore.
Yeah. So this kind of inspiration, or just notes and stuff that make me smile. Everything in this room makes me smile.
My sewing room is like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this design board, I don't know if y'all can remember my video about the design wall. These are like felt soundproofing tiles. But my dad, being the genius that he is, instead of sticking Mom's right to the wall, because mine is stuck to the wall with the 3M squares, but whenever I move it, it is gonna damage the wall. But it's okay because
they have the skills
I know
and the
how
tools.
to putty it. But Dad mounted it to a piece of, is it pegboard?
I think that's right. Yeah.
And then he mounted the pegboard to the wall, and I think that's really genius. So.
And you can tell that Nikki is a lot of my inspiration, and this was just kind of handwork at night, and I think I'm going to put them on bags or aprons or something. And then the fish, I'd like to make a fish.
The fish are really fun.
Yeah, eventually.
Lots
pumpkins, work in process.
I love your pumpkin, so cute. And you made this?
Yeah, I love this.
Did you make this, or did you buy
No, that was a gift from a friend. Yeah. Yeah, wow. It was made out of yardstick.
Why so much tape, Mom?
Well, okay, the Palmer plush fitting. You're supposed to use this 1/2-inch wide tape to reinforce curves and stuff. Okay, this I use for all my pattern drafting. The removable.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yes, it's wonderful. Wonderful.
Brilliant.
And then just regular tape for when I do packages, things like that. These hold big things like batting and some muslin or toile fabric, old sheets and stuff.
I like how both sides of your cutting desk fit. like all the way around.
The cutting
Fit storage
desk.
under.
My good quilting friend Nancy, and well, she's just an all-around friend, my pub friend, in Colorado. Her mother, when she was in Florida, sewed bridal and prom and that sort of thing, and used this table. And when she passed away, Nancy got it, and Nancy didn't have room for it, and so she gave it to me. It's just heavy. One of the drawers, there's supposed to be a drawer like this on the other side, did not make the move from Florida. So yeah, these are quilting books pretty much.
Can I borrow this? Because I got rid of mine.
Oh, yes, of course.
Thanks. Okay, I think the last thing is your closet.
Okay, well, let's see. This came out
pattern
of the big
storage.
church clean out, so I got this. It's kind of fun. So my indie patterns or patterns that I trace. And I took during COVID.
Like fabric that you made this with? Very smart.
Well, I don't know about that, but so yeah, I took a pattern drafting course during COVID, SureFit Designs, to make my own sloper. So then I can put design details from other things. Of course, I have nothing that I made on today.
Yeah, you're not wearing any handmade things.
No, I'm not, which is kind of unusual.
So cute.
Those are my,
Pattern
yeah.
Yours have handles. Mine don't, and it really annoys
Yeah,
me.
those are so handy. I really
Those
like
are
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, can I
All
open it?
right. Okay, here we go. I think
Wow.
it's pretty darn organized.
I think so too.
All I had to do yesterday was just kind of straighten up the piles.
Oh, good. I hope
So
you
I am
know.
color driven, and it's a much bigger stash than I would like. it is, but
This
that's
is all your garment.
Yes. Well, these are kind of bits and bobs of it's duck material that I make aprons out of, and then I make bags out of the leftovers, like zippy bags. Those are mostly bottom weights, but there's a shower curtain, that is all cotton that I can use for something. And fabrics are getting harder and harder as a source. So I'm not
I know.
quite as cavalier. And there's linens and cottons and things like that.
I got a comment this morning from someone in Australia. It was on yesterday's video about choosing quilt fabrics, and she said in Australia all the quilt fabrics are ugly. They just don't have access.
Oh,
Like
everything
we have, and I
has
didn't
to
know
be-
that.
Everything has to be shipped in to our Aussie system.
Yeah, and I'm sure it costs them a fortune.
Yeah. Oh, everything's, I think, a bit more expensive.
Us spoiled Americans. I
So,
felt so bad.
these are my slopers, and those are extra interfacing felt,
Oh, can we
Stuff like that.
see the toucans?
Oh, yeah. So this is when I started for me, but a granddaughter, she's 22, she was visiting this summer, and
I haven't
she
seen this
went
in person.
crazy over it.
Who, Julia?
No,
Abby?
Abby. So I'm
Oh
gonna
my goodness,
do
how
this for
cute.
Christmas. Yeah, and so this will be the backing, I think.
So
What do you think?
much fun. Yes.
So that to-do list, and of course you're sewing for Nutcracker, right?
Yes.
And here we go.
I know. I just had to put a big project on hold because all my Christmas sewing is. Natalie reminds me every single day how many days there are till Christmas. She started at day like 100. Now she's like only 7 more Fridays. Oh my god.
Are you?
I have interview questions for you.
Oh, interview questions. Okay.
My first question was going to be, what are you wearing? But you're not wearing anything that you've made.
I know.
But that's okay.
But I was cold this morning, so.
Mom does make a lot of clothing.
Yeah, most
More
of
so.
what I wear, actually.
Okay, so
Okay, I can wait though. Layla, if you on the hook behind the door, I just finished this. It's in like a rayon knit, and
This is
it's
very nice.
That's a style art pattern.
That's cute, Mom.
Well, thank you.
Very nice. Yeah,
Okay.
she's pro at the clothes. Okay, so tell us your origin story for sewing. You said your mom taught you.
Mom exposed me to it. She was a beautiful seamstress, but not a good teacher, and not long on patience at all, and a perfectionist. And she sewed my sister, who was 12 years older than me, the sheath dresses and the matching
In the 50s?
jackets. Well, in the 50s, but this was in the 60s when Carol graduated. But I was the busty one, and this was a problem. And Mom, because Mom didn't know the fitting. She just didn't, that wasn't in her skill box. And so that was interesting. But I took over, she got me the machine, and I started at 15, and people were just starting to sew with knits. And I made like an ICAT print.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
Like poly knits, probably.
It probably was. Everybody sold fabric. I mean, all the department stores in their basements had fabric. TG&Y, which was what we call the dime store, had a fabric. And then as it became a bona fide hippie, I made all my hippie clothes in organic fabric, are real fabric, not synthetic.
Oh, natural fibers.
Thank you. Yeah, sewed for you guys.
Yeah. So I want to know how you remember, because what I remember about you teaching me was that you were so patient. And you always made sure it was a joyful process. Exactly. And it seemed like it was joyful for you also. But I've taught kids to sew, including my own. And I remember sometimes I had to force myself to feel joyful about it.
Oh.
Because it is hard to teach little kids to do anything. But I remember your patience.
Taught a lot of young people to sew, and when we were overseas in Mongolia, there was a Mongolian lady who had a quilt shop there, Solange, and she asked me to come teach, and I learned as much from them. There was a huge language barrier, but the fabrics and the techniques just translated, and it was so much fun. Just to pass that on, that joy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if Mom had the joy, maybe she did. But it would be hard for me, like, you cannot not sew.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 15 minutes a day.
I know what you
It's my
mean.
headspace. Yeah.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah.
For her, it was probably, like, everybody sewed from necessity.
They did, and she took it to the nth degree. I mean, she really, I think women prided themselves on the techniques and the, couture was not in her vocabulary, and yet that's the kind of sewing she did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just had to alter Natalie's silk 50s.
Yes.
It's like a black silk taffeta from the 50s. We got it at a vintage store here. And I opened it up, and it was like, it was made so that, I mean, it was so well made. And they didn't, like, it was pinking sheared. They didn't have, like, sergers. But it was made so that every seam, including the waist, could be lowered and raised.
Really?
Like, every seam was alterable.
Yeah.
And the hem is 8 inches deep. Like, everything about it is easily alterable. And it's, like, beautifully made. Isn't that interesting? It had a waist stay.
That is interesting.
I took the waist stay out because we don't wear girdles anymore. And it was like, even for her, she's, like, really little.
Well, a woman at quilting came over to me last week and said that she did alteration. She's an Eastern Star in all these formals for these women who are my age. And she said there's no seam allowances, and they take the largest measurement and they send it to them. These gowns, wherever they're ordering them from. And so the necklines are huge. And
not everything can be fixed. I just hemmed a bridesmaid's dress for one of Natalie's ballet friends. And it's like bubbly up top for her, but there was nothing I could do to fix it. There was no way for me to, it was just made weird. She's just going to get like an extra padded bra, I think.
I was going to say, yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Oh, what kinds of things do you like to sew? I think we already talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, I think, it's gone in seasons. I was a garment sewer, and then when I really got exposed to quilting, I never liked the traditional quilts too much, or it just wasn't, Mom never had them, I don't know. And then I got married, and my husband's family, they were quilters, hand quilters. Though Granny, they wouldn't let her quilt because she wasn't good. Her stitches weren't small enough.
The quilt police are.
Yeah. So I just started looking at them like, how do they do it? Was like a big puzzle piece.
Yeah.
So I got library books, and there were a couple of PBS shows during nap time, and did these homely looking quilts. And so that kind of took off, but making gifts, and then there were years that I did nothing but quilting. Cute.
This is your favorite one?
It is my favorite one.
I love this one too.
And gifts. And then about, 2010, I got really back into garment sewing because frustrated with one age fits all and one size fits all. So yeah.
I think that's the phase I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I took kind of a lengthy break from garment sewing, and just recently. The fashions out there are not for me, so
there you go.
I'm gonna have to make my stuff. Yeah.
And one thing I do not like making is dolls. And
that was my next question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Mine is home deck. I don't like making home deck.
Oh,
I would make dolls all day, every day if I could make a full.
It depends on the home deck. Like draperies, no. And my mom had a friend who made a living making draperies and custom bedspreads back in the day, in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, I follow someone on Instagram that does reupholstery.
Oh, okay, that's another thing. No.
Yeah, that's not for me either. She has like a whole workshop and the tools and all that stuff. But no, I've done some slip covers for friends of furniture.
You did. I was so impressed.
I was young and dumb. I would definitely not say yes to that ever again.
Well, we try things when we don't know any better.
That's
my
true.
first wedding gown. I have made 2 wedding gowns. I should not have been making these wedding gowns, but I did, and both brides seemed to be.
Hey, I was one.
You
One of those
were
was
one.
me.
And I did not want to make it.
But I loved it, and I still
Yeah.
love it. And even if I got married again right now, I think I'd pick something pretty similar to that.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, now I have bigger boobs, so it wouldn't look good on me.
Well,
but anyway, I still love it. So thanks.
Okay. Well, I still have it if you want it.
That's right. That's right. I'll have to have the girls try it on. Okay, you just told me your least favorite thing was just dolls. Anything else you don't like to sew?
Well, I would never attempt upholstery.
Oh yeah,
I just wouldn't do that. And I think the fitting and all that, that's what used to really, and a large part of garment sewing is not the sewing. It's the pattern work and the fitting, and now it's gotten to where I enjoy it. And it's a process, and it's time consuming.
like the puzzleness of it,
Yes, and I know my own body. I know standard changes that I need to make.
and you have the satisfaction of making it fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is there any sewing skill you're still wanting to learn, or craft skill in general?
golly. Oh,
I just saw the Shashiko panel yesterday. I want to try that.
I was going to take a class in
You were?
Denver before, and then we moved. Yeah, I saw her at an art fair, and I thought, and so I was going to sign up. But yeah, that interests me. A little bit more handwork. Embroidery, I just have to give up on it. Now, Shashiko is different, but like that Natalie does, and I think you've done some lately.
Yeah, they can do very good embroidery.
Yeah, that is just not my thing. So probably more fitting, pants fitting. Okay, pants. Pants is the next frontier. Okay, we've got Palmer Fresh, and my SureFit designs. Oh, top down, center out. Let's don't forget that.
This
The
is
next
a good one
frontier.
too. I have fit for real people.
I
didn't
do
know
too,
There was pants
yeah.
for real people.
Yeah.
This is a good fitting resource.
Yeah.
I'll put
Actually,
a link
I
to
don't.
that too. Oh, you don't? You gave it to me. It's spiral bound.
Oh, then I do. Oh, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get them spiral bound is that's kind of a Bible.
Yeah, for fitting.
Can I say that? Yeah, for fitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
This is the last one, and then we're gonna play a quick game.
Oh.
Are there any resources you want to share, like favorite YouTube channels besides mine? Looks podcast. You're a sewing podcaster, right?
I am. Threads magazine is. I still enjoy the paper. I just enjoy, especially when they do their featured patterns, and they do a lot of indie patterns these days. And they'll take. Well, they used to. Something vintage from like the Western Costume Museum or whatever, and then they'll deconstruct it in the magazine. And Cornelia Vanderbilt's wedding gown recently, and that interests me. So they have a podcast, and I really like that. It comes out monthly. There's another one, the gal who I think she's connected with So Over 50, the Instagram account. And she does one, and I'll have to link the exact name of it. Let's see, what other...
We'll find it.
So what was the question? What podcast? Oh,
Other
YouTube.
resources, YouTube, books.
I'll have to give you a name because I do have a couple that I watch all the time. And some of them, it's their sense of style. Then there's a Cuban tailor. She's so funny. And that's what she makes her living at, an industrial machine, and she's fun, and she takes apart jeans, and tailors have all the shortcuts,
Yes, you're so right.
So I'll have to give you a
Okay,
list.
cool. Yeah, give me a list and I'll put it.
Yeah,
I'll put it
or
up.
you should give me a heads up because I do have
my
favorites. Yeah, that's one of my favorite books. There are SureFit designs if you're interested in pattern drafting. That's a really, I think, down to earth good one. Vogue Sewing is another one. Palmer Plush has Knits for Real People is good.
Fabric Savvy.
Okay, yeah. And of course, my daughter's book.
I gave her that for free. Oh, wait, look. I drew a little sticker in the pocket of my purse.
Okay, stickers on my water bottle. Yes.
So, we're going to play this quick game. Oh, you can't see it in advance.
Oh, okay.
You just have to rapid fire pick one.
Okay.
It's called This or That. These are all sewing related.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Prints or solids?
Solids.
Neutral or colorful?
Colorful.
Improv or paper piecing?
Oh, improv.
File or stack your fabric? I think you have both.
I guess, yeah, I have both.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Sewing alone or sewing with others?
Oh, brother, both. But I don't get much sewing done when I'm with
When
others.
you sew with others, that's funny.
So as far as productivity, it would be a low.
Okay. Sewing jackets or sewing pants?
Well, sewing jackets. I sew a lot of jackets, and pants are on the horizon.
Soon it'll be both.
Yeah.
Buy as you go or stash build?
Oh. Oh, obviously stash build. I guess.
Okay, PDF or printed patterns?
Printed, hands down.
Podcast or music while you sew?
Ooh, both. I start with podcasts and end with music.
Do you ever sew in silence?
Yes,
I do too.
yes. Sometimes I can't absorb any more words.
Total brain break.
Yes,
Yeah, that's all I have.
yes.
Yes, Layla has a question.
I have one more question. Do you iron your pillowcases?
No. Though I do press all my seams during sewing.
I do that too.
Yes.
Yes.
But no, I do not. Do you?
Good. No.
No, this is a
That's how
topic
people
of
do.
great debate under the comments in one of my videos. I
Really?
asked
In this
people-
day and age?
People either are really all for it, or people are like, what the heck, who does that?
Yeah, no, you
It's
wouldn't
really
catch me
funny.
dead ironing a pillowcase.
My grandmothers did, or had them ironed for them. We had an ironing lady when I was a kid, but Mom embraced, what was it, Percal? I mean, to me, if you get them out of the dryer, your pillowcases
Yeah,
don't.
they're fine.
Yeah, well, most recently someone said, well, the creases, if you have creases in your pillow, then they'll transfer to your face while you're sleeping. That's an argument I had not heard.
Good luck with that battle.
The
At my
people
age, I can
the
tell
people
you.
who like it just, they're like, I know it's silly, but I just like how it feels having a crisp pillowcase. I'm like, okay.
Now, see, I iron a lot of my clothing, and a lot of people don't, but I don't mind it. I wish all the wrinkles of life.
Yeah,
come out.
someone else said most people probably can't even find their iron.
Well, I had a young couple over. They both wanted, as a couple, wanted to learn to sew in this house, and they didn't know how to iron. And then I taught Sarah back in, they have a steamer.
Oh,
Young people have steamers, okay? Because they live
Yeah,
in
that makes
apartments
sense.
and stuff, I guess.
They dress fancy though, so
I know.
that's surprising to me.
It is to me too. So a steamer must be more open. Oh, and then Sarah that I taught, she's 18 now.
Wow, that's crazy.
But when she was about 12, she'd never seen an iron. Didn't know how to use it. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Wow. I brought Mom a sticker. You can get this in my shop.
Aww. I love
Quilting
stickers.
Queen.
I
I don't
put her
think I gave you
stickers
that
on
one
my
yet.
water bottle and take it to quilting class and promote.
It can be
I do.
dishwashered.
Oh,
Dishwasher
really?
safe, yeah.
Well, nowadays
No, you
cannot.
No, they can now. She started ordering
Oh,
them.
okay.
Well, thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
This was really fun.
Love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. This too from